I came to realize when I was in college that, some people chase things. And I realized that I was chasing a theme, right? Which is around the way I wanted to experience the world and be experienced by the world. And my theme has been, since I was a little kid, that I want to change the world.
New season, new energy, realer, rawer, more powerful than ever. This season, we're pulling back the curtain on what it truly means to lead with purpose, live with grace, and keep going when life tries to knock you off course. We're diving into the leadership that transforms lives.
I'm Kelley Cornish, and this is Life and Leadership Unplugged.
In this reflective and wisdom-filled episode, I sit down with the trailblazing 12th President of Morehouse College, Dr. David A. Thomas, for a powerful conversation on leadership, legacy, and transition. As he prepares to close an extraordinary chapter at the helm of one of the nation's most iconic institutions, Dr. Thomas offers a candid look into his defining moments, lessons in courage, and his vision for what's next, both for himself and for the future of higher education. And we will learn a tip from him or two on how he actually relaxes and unplugs. This is more than a retirement story. This is a masterclass in legacy building, servant leadership, and bold decision-making. I would like to welcome to the podcast Dr. David Thomas. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Kelley. It's great to be here.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. So, how are you feeling? Like it's after graduation. It's after this chapter has closed for you. So, what are you feeling in this moment? How are you feeling?
Okay. So, two ways to describe it.
Okay.
Now, you're probably too young to remember Tony the Tiger.
No, I'm not. Frosted Flakes. I do.
Okay, yeah. So I feel great. Okay, and you ever see the movie Amistad?
Yes.
Okay. You remember Cinque is on the witness stand? And what does he say to the court? Give me free.
Give me free. Is that how you're feeling?
Give me free.
That was a moment. That was
Give
a moment.
me free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel great and I feel free.
Yeah.
In a way that you really can't feel when you're in these kinds of jobs. And you have, what I say about being president of Morehouse is it's not hard, but it's heavy.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Being president is not hard, but it's heavy.
It's heavy. It's a weight.
You're carrying a lot.
Absolutely.
Right? You're never free of that weight.
You're never free. I call it, I heard it described once. I was reading a book. It's called The Weight of a Blessing.
It's a good way to put it.
Like carrying that weight. You've been blessed.
Yeah, right.
And it's very weighty.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. Well, I am excited. So first of all, I just have to run through your receipts because you just have a lot of them. Like, it's just a whole thing. You're known as a record-breaking president. Under your leadership, Morehouse raised the most funds in the college history. You increased the number of applicants from high-achieving students. That's just a few. You have worked to position Morehouse as a national epicenter for thought leadership on civil rights and social justice. And this is all with just Morehouse. You had a stellar career ahead of that. And so I just sit and look at you and, we're gonna talk about Morehouse. And before we jump into that, I just have to say it is an honor and it is a privilege. I am wowed by you and just what you've accomplished and just the stage that you've set for leaders to come. So I have to say that.
I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. And so tell me about, and I want to jump in, I'm going to start with Morehouse, but I had my team read a book last year by Simon Sinek called, Understanding Your Why, and it's something around that. That might not be the exact title, but just really trying to get to your why. When you think about Morehouse, what was your why when you initially got that call? Because you were doing some great things ahead of that. But what was your why? What made you say yes to
So,
Morehouse?
I came to realize when I was in college that, some people chase things like chasing being a lawyer, chasing being a doctor. My friends wanted to be doctors and lawyers. Thought I wanted to be a lawyer. I saw what lawyers did. I said, I don't want to do that. And I realized that I was chasing a theme.
A theme.
A theme, right? Which is around the way I wanted to experience the world and be experienced by the world. And my theme has been, since I was a little kid, that I want to change the world. So that's how I got into the field I'm in, my academic field, because it focuses on change.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How do you change organizations? How do you change, the world, social movements? And, I had been pretty successful up until I got the call to come to Morehouse. And I thought about it and I thought, gee, if I can be as successful at Morehouse as I've been everywhere else, I have a greater chance of changing the world. So I came to Morehouse to change the world.
To change the world. And it's so interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, in these 7 years, I've touched over 8,000 young Black men. Morehouse gave the world Martin Luther King.
Right.
One of those 8,000 will be my king.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it's amazing. I always say, God is always preparing us for our next assignment. I've heard that over the years and it stayed with me. And so I think about just your trajectory, Georgetown, Wharton, Harvard. Did you in those moments? And I ask because, when I think about the TD Jakes Foundation, where we will look at Chairman Jakes and his legacy, and we're trying to instill his legacy into the earth for generations to come. And I think it's important when the younger generation understands that you're on this trajectory, like what you're doing now can impact the rest of your life. So think about your days when you were dean and chair at Georgetown and professor at Harvard and at Wharton. Like, was it anything in those roles that you feel like positioned you for the greatness at Morehouse?
Well, yeah, one, because I am a scholar of leadership and organizations, so I was intellectually prepared, and I spent a lot of time studying leaders and consulting to leaders and organizations and coaching. So those things prepared me. I also enjoy having an impact on people. So, sometimes people say, well, if you hadn't become a professor, what would you have wanted to do?
Right.
I would have wanted to coach basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I coached both of my sons. I have 2 sons. I coached both of them in basketball.
Oh, wow.
Both of them to championships.
I love it.
There's nothing like winning a championship with your kids. Same thing, at Morehouse.
Yeah.
Nothing like winning with my team.
Yes.
And with my students. Because I'm the coach.
Because you're the coach.
So I came to Morehouse to contribute to making a better world.
And you've done that. And you've done that. I will tell you, our Chairman Jakes, he had the opportunity to attend one of your iconic fundraisers. And I will tell you, I don't know if he was on the plane coming back or it was the next morning, and he called and he was like, Morehouse. He was like, Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, I saw him there.
Yes. He was like, we've got to partner with them. And as they say, the rest is history. And so we're so excited and under your watch to have been able to make an investment into Morehouse and to see, to your point, you're building legacy. The work that you did there. I feel wholeheartedly, and I'm very optimistic that a few additional Dr. Kings will come out of that 7 years there. So we're gonna go deeper, but I have to ask you this question. We just talked about your career and just the stellar career you've had. And it's been over, I'm sure, 40 years, 40, 50 years, if you were to look back, 50 years. If you were to look back and think about now, how did you keep going? How, more specifically, were there moments when you knew you needed to pull back and unplug, to reset, to think differently about something?
Yeah, one was when I was at Georgetown, and it became clear to me that the leadership at Georgetown did not share my vision for the business school, which was to create a top 10 business school.
Okay.
They were happy with the fact that when I came, we were 33, and 5 years later, we were ranked 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and their attitude was Georgetown's not known for business. We're known for law and medicine and public policy. So I said, hey, okay, if you don't want to be on top, I got to drop.
Because you're a coach.
Because I'm a coach. So I went back to Harvard.
Wow.
And I thought I was going back to retire.
I get that.
And it was a pause.
It was a pause.
It was a pause, very brief pause.
Yes.
Because I was back about 2 months when I got the call from Morehouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is an interesting way to position a pause as well. And again, I love to transfer knowledge to the next generation and help them to understand what a pause can look like. It could be a pause that we all think of taking time off, or just going away for a while, or it could be, I need to go in a different direction. And the plan I thought was the plan, it's just not the plan anymore. So I need to make this hard right turn, right? So, and then it positioned you for what was, I'm not going to say your last chapter, but the chapter that you just closed, because I know there's more in you. And so that's great. That's great. So I'm going to dig a little deeper. What do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax?
You lead leaders. So you have to, how do you,
Well, I'm a foodie.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is barbecue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, which kind of barbecue? Like Southern barbecue.
Kansas City style, spare ribs, Texas brisket.
See, I have to add, because I'm from Georgia, South Carolina area, so there's always some competition on what is like real barbecue. Is it like?
It's not Georgia.
It's not Georgia. I hear it could be South Carolina, though. It's
Kansas City.
It's Kansas City. Is it? Okay. All right. So you're a foodie. I'm a
foodie.
And you like to cook.
So I love going to restaurants.
Okay.
I cook.
Okay.
I used to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So I, work out.
Work out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Play golf with friends.
Yeah. You like to golf? Okay. That's good.
Yeah. I'm not very good.
That's okay.
But
it's okay. It's an outlet.
It's an outlet, and the reason what drew me to golf was, it was the only time where for 4 hours I did not think about work.
See, I love it.
And I never allowed myself to literally take a walk in the park. And if you're out playing golf, metaphorically, all you're doing is taking a walk in the park.
Wow. And
it's very relaxing. You get to the end of it, smoke a cigar, you drink some wheat beer with some lemon in it.
And that's been a good day.
Talk trash. That's a great day.
That's been a great day. It's a great day. I laugh, but it's interesting. If you can just find that moment to shut your brain off from the day to day, and it sounds like that's the place. When you describe your time on a golf course, you're just away, but you're not away. You're escaped for that moment in time. And so pausing is important. And with that, we are going to take a brief break just to pause and reset as I take a deeper dive in with Dr. Thomas.
Times are tough, unemployment is up, and too many families are struggling just to make ends meet. But at the TD Jakes Foundation, we believe that no challenge is too great when a community comes together. We're empowering people with education, workforce training, and access to opportunity. And today, you can become a part of that change. It only takes that's $5 to make an impact, $5 and tag 5 friends to help open doors for someone's future. And thanks to Wells Fargo, the first $1 million raised will be doubled. That's right, your $5 instantly becomes $10 of impact. Join the Power of 5 by texting Power of 5 to 53555. Together, we can change lives.
Welcome back. I am Kelley Cornish with Life and Leadership Unplugged with Dr. David Thomas, the now retired president of Morehouse College, the 12th president of Morehouse College. And it's just been such a great conversation. We've learned so much about you already, just about your career trajectory, the way you've taken a pivot and what you enjoy. You're a foodie, you like golf, sort of, it's a place to go exhale. So now I really want to talk about, and we've been talking about legacy, but I'm going to go a little deeper into legacy. Dr. Thomas, what was the moment, and it may have been a couple of moments, where you knew you were doing something bigger than the job itself, something that would ripple far beyond your time as president? Was there a moment? I mean, I know you took Morehouse through COVID. You did so much in the 7 years. So was there a defining moment?
So there were a couple. Mm-hmm. One, I arrived and no one was aware, or at least not aware enough to tell me, that the school had a structural deficit and had a structural deficit for almost a decade.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
We were generating 11 months of cash to run a school for 12 months. And we knew that at the start of the year, and nobody was being honest about it. I knew that was life and death for the college. Mm-hmm. You can't continue to operate that way. Mm-hmm. And that, we had to preserve Morehouse for generations to come. Mm-hmm. That meant doing some things that made people very unhappy.
Wow.
But I knew that it was for a bigger cause, reason, right?
Yes.
Because of what Morehouse is to the world. The second moment that I thought it was bigger was when COVID hit. We were the first school in the country, what they call scholarship school for athletics, right? We're Division II. Mm-hmm. We were the first school to cancel football.
Really?
In the nation, right?
Wow.
We canceled football, and overnight, my phone was ringing off the hook.
Bet.
It was in the New York Times. It was all over. Morehouse cancels football. And, schools much bigger, much richer were hesitating. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my view was, it's got to be about the students. People were saying things like, well, what about the guys on scholarship? I put out, every student will continue to get their scholarship.
Wow.
We didn't bring you here to play football.
Wow.
We brought you here to be a scholar. And have the chance to play football.
That's good.
So long as you're being a scholar, you're going to get your scholarship. Mm-hmm. And every kid got every dime. I put other presidents on blast, like, just tell the kids they got their scholarship and cancel it. Because it was Morehouse, we got national play, right? Mm-hmm. We had been just about any other small college our size. It would have been a tree falling in the woods. Nobody would have heard it. And then I brought President Biden to speak at the college.
Yes, okay.
That was controversial. And I saw it as a leadership moment and went on national news. And they said, well, what are you going to do if you get the protest? And I said, okay, let me be real clear. I'm not going to have any student taken off this campus in zip ties.
Wow.
It's not going to happen at Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
They said, well, what would you do? I said, I will shut down commencement on the spot.
Wow.
Right? And, it was another kind of shot heard around the world. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was like, oh, this is bigger.
Right.
Because presidents all over the country were struggling with
right.
that whole thing that
Right.
was centered around the Gaza-Israel
right.
fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had faculty and students who wanted me to disinvite Biden. Some faculty didn't want to give him an honorary doctorate, which, the President of the United States doesn't deserve an honorary doctorate.
Right.
That's a little cray-cray.
Right.
And we stood firm, came off beautifully, no incidents.
Wow.
At the same time, other schools were canceling commencement.
They were. I do remember that time in our country.
And canceling valedictorian speakers, like at USC, because the valedictorian was a Muslim woman. Right up the road here at Emory. Big mess, brought in the Georgia State Patrol. And
it was a hard time for our country.
It's a hard time for our country. And, I think we stood out.
Let me ask you, Dr. Thomas, it's interesting listening to you talk, and, you spend a majority of your time in PWIs, and talk to me about just the difference.
PWIs, just like there are historically Black colleges, the PWIs are historically white institutions. That's the way I like to refer to them.
Okay. All right. So HWIs.
HWIs.
Okay. All right. At HBCUs, when you think about the time you spent in both, what was different about your time at Morehouse?
Okay. Well, crudely speaking, I spent most of my career in spaces that were dominated by white people. And then I would go visit Black people. At Morehouse, I spend most of my time in spaces dominated by Black people, and I go visit white people. And I like this much better.
It is, it's interesting. I love the perspective. I love the take, because similar to you, most of my career has been in corporate America, and now to have the opportunity to lead the TD Jakes Foundation, I feel so centered. I feel the opportunity to work with HBCUs on a daily basis. It's been transformative to me. I was the only one in my family to not go to an HBCU. And so to now be so intricately involved, it's like filling a void that I didn't know I had, right? And so I think it's important as people, listen to this podcast and understand, there is a difference. There is a cultural experience that happens in the environments. And so, which means there's a huge value.
Yeah, the other thing I say, it's nice to be in a place where I get all the jokes.
You get all the jokes.
Right, because jokes...
Yeah, the cultural competency is
jokes
huge.
have a cultural basis.
They do.
It's like I remember when I went to college. I went to Yale. And we were sitting around in our room the first week, and these guys started saying, okay, let's sing camp songs. So then they're like, come on, Dave, sing camp songs. I looked at them, I said, I never went to camp. So I don't know no camp songs.
Vacation Bible School camp?
I went to Vacation Bible School. So, I can give y'all a version of Yes, Jesus Loves Me.
That's right, Amazing Grace, what we guess.
Yeah, right. But, the same thing is true, in the world of work, right? People have cultural references. Like, I never watched Friends.
Neither did I. I
You
watched
know,
Martin, though.
so did I.
did.
So did I.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being in this environment,
Yeah.
right? There's just a level of comfort
There is. There is a level of comfort.
psychologically, stylistically,
Style. You were in my head
you
because
know.
my team will tell you. I mean, I sported the corporate bob for a number of years. And now, like, if I just love braids and they try to get me out of braids. And I was like, you just don't understand. It's
Yeah.
a deeper, it's a deeper reason why. But, we talk about this in this day and age when people are really fighting for their identity and trying to understand their authenticity. I do think it's these important conversations that not only we have to have, but we have to have with other people to help them understand. A lot of times we were out of our elements. So to actually be in an element and thrive is a gift.
Yeah.
It's just a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah. Yeah. But I tell you what, I take some pride in, and that is that no matter what environment I'm in, you can watch how I behave. I'm recognizable.
Absolutely.
So the way I've behaved here, nobody in the historically white institutions I've been in would be surprised.
Right. Because they see you.
Right.
Right.
And if people here saw how I behaved in those environments, they would understand.
Right.
Right. They wouldn't be surprised. They would also understand why I was good for Morehouse.
Right.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're getting to the end here. I do have a final question, and then I will go into sort of my closing that we discussed earlier. So what would you say to the young leader who's trying to build something that lasts, but feels the pressure to prove it fast? So we're in a generation where things come pretty quickly, or they think it comes pretty quickly.
Right.
But you've just shared the longevity and the build toward greatness. So what advice would you give a young leader who's trying to build something that lasts?
The only things that last are things that are bigger than you. And most leaders who aspire to greatness, who ultimately fail in disappointment, self-destruct.
Wow.
And at the root of their self-destruction is usually ego and selfishness. Right?
Wow.
So you got to take your ego out of it. And that's not easy because, you don't get to be president of Morehouse if you don't have a pretty healthy ego.
Right.
Right.
Some confidence. Right.
There's lots of other ways to make money, a lot more money. Right. I could probably be 5 times richer if I hadn't taken this job. But I wouldn't be half as satisfied with how I spent the last 7 years. You got to take your ego out of it. Small things like if you walk around the Morehouse campus,
Yes.
you will see almost no pictures of me. And Morehouse used to be a place where they put the president's picture up everywhere. I came in, I said, take my picture down. Wow. We have a Hall of Fame, pictures of, right?
Yes, which is awesome, by the way.
The dean of the chapel has been wanting to put my picture up there ever since I came to campus. I said, no, I haven't done anything yet.
Wow.
Right? And you gotta,
yes,
you gotta moderate that. That ego gets in the way. I never strived for greatness. Matter of fact, I'm a little embarrassed at the very nice things you've said about my legacy. So I say, focus on what you want to achieve and why you're trying to achieve it. Not whether you're going to be a great anything in other people's eyes, but what do you need to go home and sleep well at night? all I needed was to know that every day I woke up and came to Morehouse, I did my very best by the time I went to bed that night. Every day, minus none. And if you were at our graduation, you were there.
Yes.
Were you there till the end?
Not till the end.
Not till the end, okay.
Yes.
So one of the things I said was that when they write the chapter on my presidency, I want the title to be A Promise Kept. I made 2 promises to Morehouse. I think I delivered on both. One was every day I would do my best. And the second was that I was going to build a greater Morehouse. And I think I laid the foundation for a greater Morehouse. And I did my best every day. So promise kept.
Promise kept.
All right, that's my thing.
I love it. I love it. Dr. Thomas, this has been amazing. This will be a legacy piece for sure. It will, I know for a fact, it will outlive both of us. And I am just honored and privileged to have had this conversation with you. And so I always close my podcast with a couple of things. The final thing is my keepsake. But between the two of us, it is a hope. And so I'll start with my hope for you, and then I would love for you to share your hope for me. So, Dr. Thomas, my hope for you is that you always know that you have been a game changer, that you have really changed the minds and hearts of young people in the past 7 years. I know I wasn't on your campus, but I can just feel it for the times I was there. I wasn't there all the time, but I know that there is a sense of excellence that will continue to be there because you were there. And you have made it better, and it will continue to grow from your watch. And so my hope for you is that you never forget that. And as you move on and do, I don't know what, but I know it's going to be even greater, even if it's just going to relax. My hope is that you just rest in all the good that you've done and continue to fight that good fight around leadership, because we still do need your leadership gems. And so that is my hope for you. And I still feel that the best is yet to come. So now it's your turn, selfishly. What is your hope for me?
Okay, now you know I'm nosy.
Uh-oh.
I'm nosy, so, and I'm a noticer.
Okay.
Okay, so I notice you ain't got no ring on.
This is true.
So I hope that you have and find love in your life, because you can't do this significant work alone.
Wow.
I believe. And so I don't know, but I hope you have love in your life. If you don't, I hope you find it. I think to do our greatest work, we have to share life with someone who gets it.
Wow. I'm done.
So
I'm done. I was not expecting that. So I thank you. I thank you, Dr. Thomas, for speaking life into my life. And so with that, I'm going to try to get through.
Is there a reason you ain't got no ring?
Oh my goodness. Is he going to continue this conversation? There's no reason. No, I don't know how to answer that question. So,
if you like older guys, I got some golf buddies.
Do you? That's a whole different segment. That's a whole different segment. We'll talk offline, okay? So, with that, again, Dr. Thomas, thank you. This episode will live forever. And so, in closing, if I can do this, my keepsake, the keepsake from Kelley that I share at the end. In today's episode, we had the privilege of learning from a true architect of legacy, Dr. David Thomas. He showed us that leadership isn't just about the institutions we build. It's about the people we empower, the culture we create, and the wisdom we leave behind, and the tears from laughing or either crying. I'm not sure which one. Um, his story is a powerful reminder that a legacy isn't marked by titles, but by transformation. That letting go, when done with grace, is just as powerful as holding on. And that's when leaders choose to transition intentionally. They make space for vision to outlive them. Dr. Thomas leaves us with a challenge to lead with integrity, to serve with vision, and to always measure our impact, not by what we accomplish, by what we set in motion. Thank you for joining us. And again, thank you, Dr. Thomas.